And we're off.
Welcome back to I Hate That Shit podcast about hating shit and loving life. Here is your host.
Hi guys, it's Bonnie. Hope this finds you well.
And I'm Liz. And we're back with
The regular.
at this point, co-host.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
Co-host.
Especially Cynthia. Rocco's
building up the
You building up your cred,
resume
baby?
now.
I'm getting my YouTube time.
He's got 2 back to back.
That is very true. That is true. Wow.
More than I can say.
It's a trend. It's a trend.
It's a trend, huh?
That's gonna be the new
2 in a
trend.
row, that's a
Hashtag
trend.
Rocco.
Yeah, it's a trend after 2 in a row. Okay. Anyway, what we doing today, folks?
You said you wanted to talk about something going on.
Book banning in America. That's what we're going to talk about today. So before we get into this book banning censorship, I have some things I want to say about it. Okay. It is the most widespread form of censorship in America is book banning. Do you think that's why? Because it's easy to do. It's easy to threaten people to, ban books, which, whatever, it's stupid. And of course, like we have talked about, the children's literature is the primary example of that. They're the one, that's the target they're coming after. Because they feel like religion or your LGBTQ books, that number one book that's banned right now is called George. And it's about that LGBTQ story, I guess.
I think they go after kids because you can't really ban it from adults. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can say we're protecting the kids, but you can't tell an adult you can't read a book because it's
That's what
bad for you.
That's why I think this
day
is
and
just
age.
futile, because you can't ban books.
You can't ban books.
You can
can't.
literally, so I
Yeah.
can't get it at my school library. I'll just
Right.
go somewhere else. That's
But see, that's the thing that's happening too with this book banning, because people are like, oh, well, fuck you, we don't care, we're still going to read what we want. And you should read all the banned books, people. Is that now they're in Arkansas, they are trying to target librarians. They're trying to target librarians and try to put them in jail if they distribute any of these banned books. What do you say about that, babe?
Are they actually banned books?
Yes.
Or they just want them banned?
No, they are already banned books. I have a list of the most
were they
10 banned books.
They're banned from what? Being published, being sold,
Being
taught in
distributed.
schools?
Whether they pull them from the shelves in libraries, they pull them from the shelves. They try to get them pulled from the shelves in stores, but that doesn't work. Like Barnes and Nobles, they can't do that to them, can they? I don't think they can do that. That's a good question.
because that's a private company.
I don't think
And
you
they're
can do
not
that.
their target audience isn't necessarily children.
I think it's more on the school level.
It seems to
Yeah.
me like it would require a court order or something.
Yeah, I think it's more on the school level. They think that these books that kids are, they can read with their own eyes are bad. I have the most number one book ban of all time. It's not going to surprise anybody. 1984. Are we surprised that that's the number one banned book in America?
No.
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 Ever?
Ever.
Okay.
It's the number one book of all time in America.
Can
I'm
you
not
still
sur-
get it, though?
I have it. Well,
No, but
Sasha,
can you
you
still
have
go
it.
buy
Bring
it?
it back. But it's the number one
Yeah, I think I
because
saw it in the store the other day.
well, that you probably can get in the store, but they're not going to teach it in school. We read it
Yeah.
when we were in
So
school.
we're talking
Oh,
about
Right.
no,
books
we
and
read. We
I
didn't
probably-
read 1984. We read Brave New World. Which
We
was,
read 1984, Brave New World's good, and then
Yeah.
that was Alex Huxley that did that one, Brave New World. I think that's who that one was by. But anyway, can you believe that's the number one ban? And get this, these are the books that are banned of all time. I just when I was seeing this
What makes
list,
it the most banned book of all time?
it's
What's
been on
the qualification?
the qualification is when it's challenged, when parents insist on it being taken off the shelves. It's all like the shit we're seeing now. That's exactly how it was. The 20th century was when they banned the most books, and
Yeah.
that's been it. That's why it's been banned since then. So probably right after we got out of school, probably since the 80s. I mean, I'm sure you can find it in some places, but I'm just saying these are. But this is the other one. This is funny. The other one book, most banned book of all time. I'm sure, of course, they don't last, but The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. What the fuck is that? Mark Twain, really?
Why?
What?
Does it say why?
No, I'm just going through the list, and then we can talk about that. But of course, The Catcher in the Rye. Of course, we read that in high school too. It's a pretty good book. I mean, there is a lot of cussing in it, but it's all. If you've never read it, read it, you guys. It's a hard book to get through because of the broken English. The way it's really a hard book to get through. The Color Purple. Really? Why? Because it talks about bad shit that happened to people.
That's
I
kind of the
don't get
reason
it,
why
man.
books get banned, though. Is
Yeah,
because they shine light on things.
exactly. The Great Gatsby. You know what, people? That's about rich folk. Why are you banning that shit? Rich white people too, and you're still banning that? Okay, really? What do you say about that, babe? I just can't. I just can't, people. This
It's also
is
about adultery and beating your wife.
But that's everyday
Like,
life.
I know that. I'm not saying it's not.
Just
You
'cause
just
you're banning
asked
it,
why
it's
they.
not happening.
I know.
mean, here's like some reasons why they drinking and driving.
No, I get all that.
I mean,
get
this.
that.
I'm not saying banning the
'Cause
book's
it
gonna
ain't-
get
it's
rid of
not
the
same.
problem.
No, it's not.
I mean, and most of the people who are trying to ban books are the cause of those problems.
Amen, sister. But that's the thing. It's because they want all of us to fit in the same square. We've talked about that. But okay, so this one really gets me too. You guys, I'm telling you, go read these books. I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. That's on the banned book list. When we get to the last one, which is my favorite book of all time, I was really shocked about that. Lord of the Flies. Is that because it's cannibalism?
Maybe.
Probably a part of it.
Probably, don't you
Or
think?
just
It
barbarianism.
can incite,
It is very.
violence.
And
It
that's a
is
shout out to
barbaric.
Yellow Jackets. If you guys have not seen that series, it's a female take on the Lord of the Flies. Watch it. It's so good. It's really, really, really good, you guys. Anyway, Of Mice and Men. John Steinbeck? Really?
Yeah, we watched
I
that in a
mean,
video in school.
I was like, yeah, what's wrong? This is what I don't understand. It's like
Well,
these
a
are
lot
just
of them,
so
they're banned
random.
and then brought back and then
Exactly.
banned and then brought back.
Right. But there's certain books, like, you look at it and you've read it and it was been taught in school, you're like, why is that book banned? There's nothing literally wrong with it. This is what I can understand. Of course, this was a movie back in 1970s. Another book that's banned, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. What? That's about mental health. I thought we were all about mental health, right?
Not anymore. Not enough.
I mean, it's about an insane asylum. It's that one really gets me. And the last one, number 10. This book left such an impression on me growing up, and to this day, it's still okay. It's right behind Where the Red Fern Grows. Don't even lie about that, okay, Bonnie? To Kill a Mockingbird is on the banned list.
I'm surprised it's last. I
I'm-
thought that was
Why?
first.
Why? What the hell is wrong with people? You know what? And the thing about that censorship and this book banning, those mothers for liberty, they have said, oh, well, we want to ban all these books, but they haven't read not one fucking sentence in any of those books. So what are we to do about
Mothers
that?
for Liberty is a damn joke.
It is a joke. They're a fascist organization.
They're like what was it, Million Moms?
March.
No, it wasn't a march. It was like
They did have that march, though.
Million Moms. America or some shit. I don't know
I don't know,
exactly
that's
what
not-
it was called, but
doesn't
it
sound
was
familiar.
it was like the parent of Moms for Liberty.
Yeah.
They walk so Moms for Liberty
Oh,
could
God.
run. Like,
Don't use that in that way. It's only for Obama. Don't. That's terrible. What do you think,
wasn't that
babe?
there before Obama though?
Yeah, but I like it with him anyway. So, what do you think, babe, of all
About
this bullshit I just
The
read?
book banning, I think, I don't know. I don't understand why people have to think they need to control what's being taught or what's being, what's being read.
Read.
Well,
There's
if
there's all kinds of stuff out there to read.
Right.
Who's to say what's a good story, what's a bad story, and
Unless
this
you
has
read it.
negative influences
Exactly.
on society.
Right.
It's like, remember the big dispute about video games are causing violence.
That's what I was gonna say about
And now
these
it's
books.
And
books.
books have been doing it all this
Yeah.
time.
Ooh, they want to ban books that have violence in them, but what about Grand Theft Auto? Because I remember that was the first one that they were like, "Oh my God, there's so much violence in it."
I never read that one.
What, Grand Theft? It's a game, you know that. But I mean, that's the difference. How these video games that kids play are violent, but they can't read the words. Come on now, it's some bullshit.
well, if you don't,
You gotta put it by the mic, Bonnie. We've had this discussion.
so if you don't want your kid reading something, fine,
Yeah,
don't let them read it.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean that every other kid out there shouldn't be allowed to.
I
That's
don't get that. That's
And if
what I
you
don't
want to
get.
control your child's education, then do
Control
it in
it.
a manner that controls your child.
Your
not
child.
Other people's.
Your child, not mine, not yours,
Either
not anyone
homeschool
else's.
your kid or put your child in an environment where they're going to learn exactly what you want them to.
Right.
And you can have say over the curriculum.
Exactly. There
Yeah,
you
but
go.
That doesn't teach them the real world. That's just
It doesn't teach them the
No.
real world,
Teaches them
but
your
it gives the
opinion.
parent
Yeah.
what they want.
Their
Yeah.
opinion.
yeah.
And it doesn't
When I was a kid,
hold back
this
other
is the way it
parents.
was, and now it's going to be the same.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that kind of. But you know what? This is just speaking on my own experience. I think if you teach kids this one world view, and then when you really do just let them finally go out into the world, they look at you like you've betrayed them because they're like, "Why haven't I learned this?" My
a
college
lot of times
roommate
they feel
was
held
like
back.
that. Exactly.
That's not what I was taught.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
that's, and then they realize that there's so much more to the world than just that one world view that their parents wanted to teach them, because everything else would damage them.
No, that's the
You
problem.
know?
That's the problem with homeschooling is that some of those kids that are homeschooled, they don't have the experience and interaction with other kids and hear other opinions and figure out how to coexist among their common men.
It's called tolerance.
Yeah.
you have
mean,
to.
you have
You
to
have
learn
It's
to.
that
also it's
stuff.
not even just tolerance. It's also like social cues.
Yeah, exactly.
And being able to interact with
Mm-hmm.
other people in a way of like generally
Mm-hmm.
being around other people.
Right. When
well,
the-
a lot of homeschool is different now. There's
Yeah.
a lot of like the small group stuff. There's a lot
Right.
of like they do certain activities with other homeschools so that they have that interaction.
Right.
But you are right. There still is going to be those few that
Yeah.
they are just confined to their house and that kind of stuff. But
I
And I
don't
also
know.
I just don't get that if you're teaching your kid right from wrong, right? You
Right.
teach them your values and your experiences. Why don't you trust your child?
Right,
Why don't
exactly,
you trust your
exactly.
parenting? Like if you're,
I agree
if
with
you're
that.
this amazing parent that you
100%.
think you are,
Yep. Then
why
let
can
them
your
go.
child not be?
Right. That's the hardest lesson
Of
for
the
me.
world, not just
exactly.
in it.
That you have to let them go, because if you did teach them right with good values and
You
good
should
manners,
trust
you
your
should just-
parenting
exactly
and your child.
and let them go. 75% of Americans oppose this ban. 75%, and it just keeps going up and up. 75%.
Yeah.
Why do we have book banning and censorship in America? I thought it was the land of the free.
oh, that's a joke.
The land of the
Trying
free.
to amend that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. What do they say? Well, freedom's not free. No shit, you motherfuckers. We know it's not free. But The people who died and bled for this country have said that it's okay if we read a book that you don't like. We can do that in America.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah.
That's
We
why.
can write a book. That
Yeah,
you don't
what is
like.
Exactly.
what is this like trend of just completely telling me that I can't do stuff?
Being
like
anti-American.
That's your opinion. That's your belief. Stop imposing that on me.
I don't.
That's
get
the
that.
great thing about being in this land of
Exactly.
the free is we don't have to all think the same
and we don't
thing.
have to agree.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's why we're a melting pot. Then I think that people, but by banning these books, it just goes to show you that there's some real ignorant people in America. I mean, if you want to ban these books that have shaped America too, lots of people have read these books. And get this, the number one challenge book, which I find very, very ironic, another one of my favorites, Fahrenheit 451. And what is that movie about? Banning and burning, actually burning books. Really? Have we really stooped that low in America that we have to ban books and have burning books, show that you don't like this book, so you burn it just like they do with the Bud Light and the Barbies. They put Barbies on fire now. What the fuck is the outrage about, people?
It is weird hearing all of these books being so-called banned, when I remember reading them when I was in school. I remember Fahrenheit 451 in middle school, Of Mice and Men, and Great Gatsby were both read in high school. Same with To Kill a Mockingbird. It is a new and disturbing trend.
What is it about?
It's
I
just
don't
so fun.
understand why we can't just like live and let live. Like why does it affect you so deeply?
That you're willing to shoot people and burn Barbie.
You need a hobby.
You need
Yeah.
a hobby is right.
Get a
It doesn't
dog.
make sense.
No, don't get a dog.
No.
I'll take that back.
No. But just Fahrenheit 451 being banned is just, wow.
I think it's
you know?
typically anything that like questions authority
Right.
or society. That's because that's kind of the common theme on most of those books is like saying there's a problem
Right.
that
That
needs
is
to
true.
be fixed.
That is
and
very
that's typically what causes them
To be banned.
to get banned or for people to go after them.
Exactly. And the number one reason is the result, of course, like we've said, the parents and the community, how they resist, right? Their insistence that we need to ban this book. Number one is racial issues. 2, sexual content. 3, education standards or encouragement of damaging lifestyles. We know what that means, you know, LGBT, whatever. I mean, religion and violence. I mean, it's just like in Utah, how that mom flipped the script, turned the page on the book banners up there by saying that she wanted the Bible banned. She was like,
'cause that's full of all of that.
All of that.
Genocide.
Yeah.
And
Adultery,
yeah.
incest, all of it.
Slavery.
Slavery, violence, all of it. And so, of course, they're like, oh, that's not fair. It's the Bible. It's still a book.
Yeah.
So where's your hypocrisy? You know, where you're saying you can ban these books, but because it's the Bible, your sacred Bible, now all of a sudden it can't be banned. But you're
But
banning
they'll ban
these
the Quran.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah, that falls in
It's
the.
like you can't fall. You can't.
You're a hypocrite.
Yeah, that falls in the Black history category, right? The Bible. I mean, the only white people in the Bible are the Romans.
It's true. It's true. We
Right.
know where it all took place. But regardless, you can't sit there and say, we're going to ban these books, but we can't ban the Bible for the exact same shit you're banning these other books for. I don't get it. I don't understand. How is that? Where's that disconnect? That we do have separation of church and state in America. So if we
Not
have,
really.
well, we should. We
We're
do.
supposed to.
Yeah, we're supposed to. But then
We're
here you
supposed to
have-
do a lot
right.
of things in America.
But then here
Those
you're
lines
like,
are getting gray.
they are getting very gray. They're blurring a lot more and more, and I'm not for that. I'm not. I don't want some Christian, because we know there's no hate like Christian love in this world. So I don't want that. I don't want someone telling me, well, my God says this, my Jesus. If you feel that way, that's good. But don't say that they need to preach the Pledge of Allegiance or say the Ten Commandments in school, but yet you're not going to let Muslims pray to their God, Hindus pray to their God, but only the Christian. Where's freedom of religion then? So fuck off, you people. You know, because that is the way that it is. Am I wrong?
Nope.
I mean,
No, I agree. We should be able to practicing religion, or freedom to practice religion is also freedom to not practice religion.
exactly.
So again, your beliefs are not my reality. So
Yeah.
please stop.
Your beliefs don't matter to me.
Right.
And that's how it should be. Mind your own fucking business. Mind your business.
Yep.
Go over there, do what you want to do, and I'll be over here praying to the east. Is it the east? I don't
There
know.
was a-
right?
I don't know if you've ever seen the show Designing Women.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Never
Yeah.
seen it.
I see somebody here. But it was a show from like the late 80s,
80s.
early 90s. And there was a episode where Julia was running for like city council or something.
Right.
And this guy was trying to say prayer should be in school. And she was like, no.
No.
Like, I'm a staunch Christian.
Exactly.
I pray every day. I read my Bible every day, but you're not going to tell me when, where, and how to pray.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's what I always go to when they talk about prayer in school. I'm like, how are you to tell somebody how to worship? Even if you share a God, like
Exactly.
even if it is a Christian,
No,
like,
exactly.
who are you to tell
Exactly.
somebody how to
Individual,
pray,
right?
Right.
how to talk to God,
Exactly.
where to, when to, what language and word to use, and how to define their relationship?
Exactly.
That's, to me, goes against
What Jesus said.
Christianity
I
in
agree.
itself at its core.
Well,
It's about
it-
your relationship
Exactly
with
him.
God.
Exactly. That's where I think that's like when people bring up like this book banning and all the censorship that is going on in America right now. It's just that, and then they sit there and they're like, oh, well, we'll pray for our country and everything. And I'm here to tell you it's all bullshit. Because one, if you've actually truly have read the Bible and you say you follow Jesus's teachings, you would be praying in silent, number one. In Matthew, he says, go into your closet and pray. Don't do it out in public so everyone can see you doing that. Do you think they teach that? No. Did you ever hear God say, go and stone gay people? I've never, or blacks?
No.
Or women? I've never heard any of that shit. But yet here they're, in the name of Jesus, we're banning these books. Sorry, I don't buy it.
Oh, inciting violence.
Yeah.
How many words?
Okay, so the rest of the episode doesn't exist. At least the audio doesn't. I could just leave you with the empty 5 minutes of footage left, but that would be boring. So I have to end the episode here. I have no other choice, and I have no idea how we lost the tail end of this episode. Blame the book banners, I guess. But as always, don't let shit get you down. You are not alone. We are all in this together. Peace.